All right. A nurse receives a report for a shift assignment. After reviewing the assignments, which client does the nurse assess first? So walk us through the choices and why you would answer yes or no for each one as the answer.
Okay, so this is obviously a priority question.
So this is our first real priority question. Which one would you assess first? So this is one of those ones where it actually does matter who else is in the choices, right?
Yeah. So A is an unconscious client who needs a tube feeding initiated. B, a client with a family member who needs emotional support. C, a client who has a family member waiting to visit. And D, a client who is scheduled to receive a beta blocker medication. So I guess I would mark out B first because I feel like emotional support could wait over someone that may need a medication or feeding.
Okay.
Because feeding or giving medications would be more a priority.
Because it's physiological, right? So we're looking at kind of Maslow's with physiological needs over our psychosocial needs.
And then I feel like I could mark out C as well, the client who has a family member waiting to visit.
Okay.
So I feel like it's between the unconscious client who needs a tube feeding started and a client who is scheduled to receive a beta blocker.
Dun, dun, dun.
Can I phone a friend?
Phone a friend. Yes, ma'am.
So, a couple of friends.
So with the A, B's, and C's, would you choose the beta blocker first because of circulation, the tube feeds?
Does the ABCs apply to this?
No.
I mean, if dude's unconscious, you probably need to assess him.
But I know with tube feeding for unconscious, if with our courses they stress if GI works, you want to get some food in it.
Okay.
So that's what makes me kind of want to pick that. But I know that getting medications on time at the appropriate time is important as well.
So how do you make this decision?
But it's a schedule.
But you're going to give the medication. You just may want to give somebody a feeding that may be suffering or at risk for a nutritional deficit versus someone who's on a routine beta blocker.
Now you're looking more at which one actually has the more important physiological issue, right? So
I was just going to say you can kind of go the stable versus unstable with the nutritional deficits and they're unconscious. You don't really know if they're stable or not. So I would put them as unstable and they would be my priority.
and that is exactly how you want to look at that. The person who is unconscious and needs a feeding is going to take priority. Might be by a hair, but they definitely take priority because the scheduled medicine is going to get done at the scheduled time. We're not saying we're bumping it necessarily. You have how big of a window to give a scheduled med? Yeah, and I mean, depending on the hospital, it's a full hour before and a full hour after. So you've got a 2-hour window. Whereas this person who needs a feeding, you know, they're not going to die if you don't get them that feeding. But this is something that has been ordered. We need to get it done. We need to get it started. And the longer you delay them, the more they're going to have nutritional deficiencies. So that's actually a really tough question. You guys did a great job with that.